Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. We have another amazing show today. One of the things many people struggle with is sales and the discomfort of doing sales. In fact, even saying the word sales is a trigger for many, even business owners. So how can we start to embrace sales? How can we make sales fun and easy? I feel I've cracked the code over the years for myself and others. So I'm going to go ahead and share some of the secrets, not that they're always fun, they're always easy in every single moment like anything else. We don't live in eternal bliss every single moment of every day unless we do. But what I'm saying is that there's a way to do it that will make it consistently much funner and much easier than ever before. So looking forward to diving right into it with you. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate, Make Money meditation today. I will encourage you today, if you've been following me for a while, to go ahead and feel free to subscribe to wherever you're listening through, whatever the medium may be, whether it's on iTunes or if it's on Spotify or on YouTube or what have you. Feel free, because I'm going to be bringing more content than ever this year. And I'm always looking to get to the truth. That's the mission of the show, in part, is to make sure we get into the truth, that we really explore it as deeply as we can with each show. So that includes with my guests, that includes with myself. So we're here to give you the answers that help you to align with your purpose, your mission, as that light leader, to rock your sacred purpose as a spiritual rock star. So, all right, so let's talk about this topic. One of the things many people don't realize about me, if you've only been following me more recently, you may not have fully noticed, I'm a person who's been known to help people to sell on many different levels. So I'm a business coach, obviously, I have talked about that. But sales training, especially one-to-one sales conversations, is something that I've become very proficient with and able to train others in a high level. In fact, so much so, people that I don't necessarily consider myself the best salesperson in the world, but then again, other people have said that I'm really super with sales. I think it all depends on, it's like saying a food is healthy. Well, compared to what, right? So yeah, I'm super salesman compared to maybe some other sensitive, empathic type of people that are in this kind of field. It really doesn't matter. The bottom line is, are your sales soul satisfying? Are you seeing the results that you want to see in terms of the impact you're bringing to people and the number of people that are working with you? Are you seeing the results is the bottom line. All this ego about how good people are in sales or aren't good in sales, to me, at the end of the day, doesn't matter. It's fun to talk about, but only for very briefly. And then it's like, okay, bottom line, how do we see more of the results that we want? How do we make sales and feel amazing about it? How do we make sales that transform people's lives? How do we make sales that help us to help more people? Because one of the biggest resistances and the thing that makes sales not fun is this whole idea that we're simply there to try to take someone's money, to manipulate them, to hire us. And yes, we're going to do some good for them. But maybe we're just talking people into stuff they would never invest all this money in otherwise. And aren't we so horrible for doing that? So that's basically the underpinning for so many coaches, healers, trainers, people like that. And even if you don't experience that thought all the time or very consistently, I find it's an undercurrent, that sort of thought form, maybe not exactly that what I said, but it's along those lines, that there's something amiss here, that we're wanting to help people, that we're spiritual people and we should just want to help people. We shouldn't want to try to sell people on anything. They should just be able to download it from source if they want to work with us, and they should just know. We shouldn't have to educate them. We shouldn't have to do any so-called salesmanship. Oh my God, what's that? It's like it gets so crazy in people's subconscious mind. It's almost like it's the devil salesmanship, and I guess it's rooted in like so many occurrences over history, and in our daily life, of people really just selling stuff because they want to have the influence, they want to have the control, they do want the money, they want the power over you. So you see it in commercials with all the seduction there. You see it in our politicians. You see it in the media. We see like how a sales process is going on all the time, and we feel that energy. We're like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do that. I want people to like reclaim their sovereignty, their power, and decide for themselves. I don't want to influence them at all. I don't want to tell them to do anything. I don't want to do that. I just don't want, And so most of us, to some degree or another, will lay back. Okay, let me just lay back. Totally take a stand for somebody, in a sales process. Again, most of what I'm talking about today could apply really to all kinds of sales, but particularly to most people are going into your work after a one-to-one conversation, right? If they come into something that's usually thousands of dollars or many thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars or more, usually it's going to be through one-to-one sales conversation, and that's what most of you are doing. So I am going to focus more in that direction rather than all the others, but it applies, right? The same thing. Maybe I better not hype something up too much. Maybe I better dial it back. And there's a lot of hype on the internet, like what kind of results people can get, and they hype the hell out of it, or they use fear marketing tactics. If you don't do this, soon the whole world's coming to an end, and particularly your life, if you don't, buy this product today, or join me, join us now before it's too late, before it's too late, before it's too late, before it's too late. Like that message is out there like crazy. Some of you are so sensitive to these things, are already like, I can't listen one more second to what you're saying. If that's true, like I always find that as the sign I need to keep listening. If I get triggered by something that's being said, or by a person, even, like I try to listen even more then. I listen more then. So hang in there with me today. I'm just laying out like the issues, right? What are the issues that we've been running into with sales? So we just assume like there's a way for people to be in their power enough and their intuition enough to know what's right for them, and then we're just going to trust they'll do that, and then we don't need to sell. All we need to do is let them do that. Let them make their own choice, because they'll be in their power, they'll be connected, they'll truly know what's right for them, they'll know, they'll get it right. Okay, so we have to remember something about that. Yes, some people are really connected, their intuition, their power, they understand what they want in their life, they're clear about it. Most of the time, most people aren't, and even if people are clear, there's always deeper levels of clarity. But like we assume, like we'd like to assume like people are able to be that way. Here's the reality. All right, now we just cut to the chase. People are not in their power all the time. They are not connected to their intuition all the time. They are not knowing what they want in their life all the time. That's why there is a thing called a sales process or salesmanship, because it's really a truth process. And you look at it that way. That's how I look at it. I think like enlightened sales, awakened sales. I often talk about awakened sales. Awakened sales, part of the formula or the constitution of awakened sales is that we're just there to get to truth. That's it. Like I said, the whole foundation of this platform is about that. Not that I can't become deluded at times and like everybody else, like no, but my intention is that. So we want to get to the absolute truth. So have there been people, and I'll get to how this makes it all funner and easier ultimately. We're getting there, okay? because you know how it's not fun and easy when you don't have any sales, right? Because you've relied on like the idea that, oh, they can make the choice. Oh, I don't need to over persuade. Oh, either they want it, they don't. Oh, like even if people are very successful, tell me things like that. They'll say, well, I can put it out there and hey, baby, either you want it or you don't. Like there's that swag, and then that they say that makes them appealing and everything. Okay, maybe. Or maybe there's people that would come in if you showed up more for them, you utilize your salesmanship more. There's many examples of people that never would have worked with me if I didn't make the case of why I thought it would be a good idea for them. Ultimately, it's their choice. But what happens is people come in, let's say someone, again, most of you spiritual entrepreneurs out there that are listening, you're not selling widgets or selling necessarily t-shirts. Maybe you do that, but you're not usually doing those. Usually you get coaches, healers, trainers. So I'm going to go from that perspective. So when you're on those calls with people, this is like a whole little mini sales training on this podcast today. So take notes. People pay me a lot of money to learn these things. Like they're basic things really, but you got to dial them in. When you're going into a sales call, let's say there's a whole lead generation, right? Okay, I could say, all right, let's start from the beginning. Who's your ideal client? All the things you've already heard. What's their psychographic? What's their, what type of people do you want to work with? What are their pain points? What are they looking for? Okay. All right. So you've heard all that before, I'm sure, right? Somewhere you've been listening to this sales at all, processes at all. All right. So get that work done. All right. You want to get that done with me? Check out me at yoursacredpurpose.com. Get the free make money meditation. Get the upgrade. I think it's like $77 for the workshop. Meditate, make money. Meditation upgrade. Okay, I'll show you. I'll take you into a whole more detailed sort of meditative process to land more with who you're meant to be serving. Okay, we got that out of the way. All right, so we have to talk all about that for this time. So okay, and then how do we lead generate? How do we lead generate? Oh my God. Okay, and then everybody makes that really complicated. How would you like it to happen? In what fun, easy way would you allow it to happen? Like one of my clients, he loves to do summits, and then he loves to do workshops after his summits, and then he gets a lot of clients. Other people, they love to do ads. I have clients like that, and then they love to do events, and they get clients that way. Other people like to do social media posts, and then they put out certain amount of calls to actions, and people take advantage and they lead generate that way by talking to their audience. They just talk to their audience. They keep showing up. They keep showing up where the people hang out, all that stuff I've been talked about forever. Where are your clients? First know who they are. Where do they hang out? I mean, those are such basic things. They're so important to remember, like, holy cow, are you even doing the basics? Because we overcomplicate it. It's that simple. Who do you want to help? Where do they hang out? Show up with your message. Okay, great. That's one way to make it easy, at least, right? And how is it fun? Do you want to be, like some people will say, like I was just listening to training, and it was a great training. It was a great, like mini training. It was more of a Facebook Live kind of thing. Like, how do you get clients on social media? All right, you go into your Facebook groups you like to be in, you help people, then maybe they come to your profile, they check you out, then they want to be friends with you, or they go into your group and then you sell there or whatever. Like there's a whole little process, right, that goes into that. And I'm constantly listening to these trainings here and there because again, I'm not saying like all these trainings aren't great, because they are. Like there's a lot of valuable information out there, no doubt. But there's, how do you actually convert people into clients? How does it all work? How does their connected energy that makes it fun and easy and make it so filled with good energy that not only do you finally decide to take the actions to do the things that will produce sales, but you're looking forward to it. You can't wait to do it. You're just so excited about it. That's what my job is in working with my clients. I want you to be excited about it, happy for the process as much as what the results are in terms of, oh, how many clients and how many dollars. Oh yeah, those stack up. Sure. It happens. It's just like, if you make that the number one thing, often you're not going to get the same amount of results. The people that have the best businesses, that are having a better time, having more fun, and it's easier, because they're so passionate, they're so in love with what they're doing and how they're doing it, right? It's not, oh, do what you love, the money will follow. Great. But if you don't know how to sell, and the selling process isn't fun and filled with delight and ease, not that, again, they say you're not going to hit incredible challenges at moments and all these sort of things. That happens. It's going to happen. But overall, that it's that way, how can it be that way? Well, again, who's your client? Where are they hanging out? Then how do you want to interact with them? Okay, they're hanging out in Facebook groups, but if you don't want to hang out in a Facebook group, that's a horrible strategy. You're not going to do it. You just feel like, I mechanically got to do this to get clients. You don't want to do that. Don't do it that way. It's that simple. There's so many ways. What's so cool is there's so many ways to get clients these days. There's like endless ideas. I could come up with 100, like easily. I could like say 100 ways, like right here on this podcast today. I'm not going to do that, but I could. It's easy. There's 100 million different ways to get clients. I am exaggerating a little bit, maybe on 100 million, but virtually there are. There's so many ways to get. How do you get clients? There's so many different ways. That's not the right question. The right question is, what's the way that calls to me? What's the way that calls to me? That's what matters. That's what matters. So I know I meander, right? I started all different places, but I'm getting there. I'm going to re-thread back to where I started. So, because you need to be in your great energy, you need to be in your power, you need to be in your connected flow and into your intuition. That's kind of looping back to what I said earlier. Are the people you're connecting with, are they in their power? Are they in a good energy? Are they might be in contraction, might be in a lot of pain, but are they in a connected energy at least? Well, if you're not, then you're likely to attract more people that are not. So are you feeling higher vibe even if you have challenges more consistently? Are you in your power? Are you intuitively connected? Are you living from your intuitive connection? Then you attract more people like that. It's the way it works. It will start showing up. It's not the only piece of it. Then you have to focus your intention, your energy in the direction of the type of people you want to work with. Then it's a matter of, okay, well, where do we go? How do we do it? There's so many different ways. Yes, there is social media. Yes, there is things like doing podcasting. Yes, you can go speak in person. You could speak online. You could do like so many different things. You could ask other people to promote your things. You could do articles online. You could just come up with partnerships with people that happen to connect with all your client base. And then they just send you clients. And then of course there's always word of mouth. So there's, again, it could be in a book. You could create an amazing website that creates organic traffic. You could start a YouTube channel. You could be an Instagram star. You could be I just have to put a few of the ideas out, because ads, how many have we already come up with? 10 in this show already, and then within each one, there's so many different ways within those things, the ways you could get clients. You could get clients through Facebook Reels. You could get clients through your profile page. You could get clients through a Facebook group. You could get them through your business page, potentially. You could get them through your ads on there. So that's 5 ways on Facebook alone. You get them through DMs. DMs, that's like Satan, DMing people. Yeah, BS. Not if you do it in a way that aligns with you and for your marketing. What else? Okay, I'm slowing down a little bit. You could do them through your stories. You could do them through Facebook Lives on other people's Facebook groups. You could do it by networking with the people in your groups. You could do it through networking. Go to, networking groups. You can go, all right, now what are we up to? Like 20, and I gave you like almost 10 in one category. All right. Like I said, I could give you 100. I'm just trying to offer you proof that I'm for real, that I could tell you at least 100 ways to market yourself. There's at least 100 ways. to even get started. And we're just barely getting warmed up. All right, so that's not the problem. And then there's an expert in each one of those fields. They crack the code, how they can do amazing business in this one particular way. And they say it works for everybody, come on in, but it's not true. You get into those particular programs and everything, you're like, oh, this could be a way to do it. I just need to figure out how to get clients. You go ahead, or to get these next level clients or high-end clients, right? You get into it, and before you know it, they're saying, like, do market research, then call them into an intro call later. And, sort of, like, there's so many strategies, right? Just research your market. Just offer, just say, hey, I'm just researching. But everybody, like most people know, when you say you want them on a research call now, that you want them to be a client, right? Come on. I mean, most people, that's what they're thinking. Oh, okay, you're yeah, I get it. You want research, but then you want me to be a client. Yeah, I know how this works. Because any tactic, like if it's sort of a mechanical trick, if you're using it like that in any level, like it's only a mechanical trick, then it's no good. It's not going to work ultimately. It's not going to work ultimately for soul-centered, heart-centered people. It might work for somebody who doesn't care, like doesn't care about the heart and soul aspect of it. It might align for them, but not for you. So what's the solution? So when you're looking at, okay, how do I get clients? How do I lead generate? What lights you up? My podcast lights me up. I would do my podcasts for free. I would do these shows again and again and again for free for the rest of my life. I mean, as far as I can tell, who knows? I mean, I guess it's possible the way I do them today. I did many interviews and through an online radio show and summits and all these other ways before. A lot of it was great, but some of it, like if I did the interviews in a certain way, they didn't always fulfill me, because I get fulfilled often not just by listening to someone talk, but interacting with them. When I interact with them, then I'm golden. Because as much as I enjoy doing something like this, a solo podcast, I enjoy more talking with somebody, right? Most of you probably feel that way. So I came up with my own system of gaining clients, which I won't get into today, but gaining clients through even through the one medium of doing podcasting, to where really literally, as far as is the number of clients that I desire to have, like it's unlimited. Like it's virtually unlimited, the amount of clients that I can have theoretically versus my capacity. Like, I mean, overflow, maybe that's a better, more accurate, truthful term. Like just a total overflow. Like it's just way more than what I feel I can serve and the way I serve people, because I go deeper in the support with people and the way I work with people. So you couldn't tell by just the way I talk here. Anyway, so let's say you get something working, you find out where to go, you learn. I'm not here to teach everything today, but you learn. Man, it's just so fun doing these Facebook Lives and just telling people to dial me up or schedule on my calendar or whatever. And because you're having such a good time and it's such a connected energy, it's just working. You're being very intentional. You know how to make it fun and easy? You're very intentional. You go in, you say, this is going to work. If it's something that you enjoy, you're clear. You're just like, this is going to work. You go in and you're clear. I love this so much. It's my heart-centered desire, my real truth, that I want this to work. I want to gain clients in this way. This is the way I want to do it. Now, it's possible as you're being very sincere and get into it that you discover that it's not the way you want to do it. But at least if you start with that intention, either it'll work or you'll be redirected. And eventually you will get to your heart's truest desire of how to align and connect with your ideal clients. And then that'll be really fun. And then it becomes so easy. It's so easy finding those prospective clients. And honestly, that's more than half of it, more than half of it right there. And so it's kind of the easiest part. And for some people, they're so caught up in their head and can't find their own truth, that it's almost impossible, it seems to them, for that to happen. And they're so shy, they're so introverted, they're so sensitive, as I've been. I was called Mr. Invisible in high school. That's how retiring I was in terms of connecting with people. I was like, just disappear me, like. So, there's a way for you. And most introverts, once they take the stage, they've got a lot to say. They want to share a lot, but they just don't, feel comfortable to share a lot until they feel like they got the go signals. They're in that alignment in that place. So you got to find your right way to do your marketing, and therefore to create easy sales opportunities. Because once you get in front of the right people consistently and start talking to them in these one-to-one conversations, then it can be easy. So then when you go into sales conversations, you're going in with an intentionality that resonates for you. Like some of my clients, it's like they go into their sales calls, and again, a trigger alert, like some of you might even be triggered by this. They're like, game on, like game on, because they're taking charge. They're being in their own power. Remember what I said, when you're in your own power, you can, and as long as you don't do power over, you can utilize that to bring other people into their own power. Because when you're leading from your being in your power, and you're indirectly and even directly inviting people into their own power, they're going to start coming into that level of connection with the real power, right? So if you do a power over where you're diminishing their sense of their own personal power, and then you're coming in really powerful and owning your power and then taking their power away, that's a whole different situation. Well, we're talking about bringing yourself where it's game on, man, I'm empowered, I'm connected, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go for this sales conversation or a discovery call or an intro session or however you do it. Any of it can work. Any of it can work. All of those things can work and more. So you come into the call centered in your heart, it's centered in your heart as well. So centered in your power. First of all, just come on, I'm in my power. What helps you to do that? I don't know. Like for me, getting anchored in my sacral power and just feeling grounded and everything like that, that's all part of it. Like that's all part of it. But just coming up with a phrase or something can be very helpful. Maybe put it on your screen all the time, like for every call and every client you're with, game on, or whatever, it's time to rock, or it could be like love or whatever helps you feel like you're in your power. So you get on these calls, you're in your power, and think of it in terms of calling people into their greatness, into their power, into their possibilities and potential. What are people coming into these calls with often? They're coming in with false limiting beliefs. They're coming in feeling disempowered overall or in some area of their life, even, whatever it might be. It might be just a fraction of their life, but it's a huge thing for them. They're coming in not feeling intuitively connected about what to do about it many times, not super intuitively. Sometimes they'll be already know they're going to hire you, but not always. And so all these different factors are there. So if you come in, you're like, okay, we're going to do this process, we're going to talk about it, then, hey, either they want or they don't. Like there's an approach of like bring people on a call and say, okay, what's your problem? Okay, hey, all right, I can help you with that. And then you just be quiet and they're like, oh, okay, how do you help with that? And you just go right into it and you just sign it right up. People do that successfully. That could be a really fun, easy way to get new sales. It can be. And if they're not ready, it's just like, oh, okay, you're not ready, no problem. Why don't you do this or that? And then when you're ready, come back to me. It's a very simple system. It can be done that way. No problem. No problem. I don't do it that way, but it can be done very easily that way, sales. What calls to you? What is your process? What makes you feel empowered? What helps you feel like it's funner and more joyful, more connected, easier, really, ultimately? It's really, there's an ease to it. Are you willing to become, I know this is debatable, like, do you need to get out of your comfort zone? I feel to do your best work in any area, you may, people say extend your comfort zone. I've heard that one recently, like, I'll extend your comfort zone, then you'll never be out of your comfort zone. Who cares? Like, okay, then you're basically going out of your comfort zone either way. It's just semantics to me. You're going to have to allow yourself to feel uncomfortable. Why? The only time you feel uncomfortable is when you're facing the fear-ridden part of your being, and within that and connected to that at least you're coming in contact with the false limiting beliefs that got generated out of fear. So there's a part of us that is just trying to keep us to survive all the time, right? So you always got that, and your potential clients always have that. So when you come onto a call, their first thought is, okay, maybe I want to do it. Maybe they're real exciting. Whoa, we got to survive though. Oh my God, we better protect. Oh my God, what if I don't know, like, do I fully trust this person? Do I not? Do I trust myself more so is what their question is. So come into a sales conversation, it's like you're coming in, you're with an open heart, you're in a connected heart, you're in your power, and you're connected, with your guidance, with your higher self, right? You just come in, you just get really present. How do you get with your higher self? Well, just be present, okay? Just be present. Don't make it complicated. Feel the energy in your heart, but also feel your connection with your power in the lower chakras as well, like a full embodied sales here, awakened sales. So come in, we're intentional. We're like, if I can at all help this person today, I'm going to help them to the maximum degree. Basically, that sort of intention is a wonderful way to do it. You can come up with your own playbooks here, okay? I'm just giving you some guidance. So you go in with that intention and then you just lay out everything for them. Hey, really glad to be connected with you today. And you can start in all kinds of different ways. I've seen sales trainers say, I consider myself definitely very much a sales trainer, but I've seen other top sales trainers, people that do train people really well to get sales, at least. Like, tell people like, hey, let's get right down to what's the issue and no stories. Let's go. And if you tell a story, is it okay for me to call you out on that? And that can be fine, I guess, if that aligns. Like, that's a little too, feels a bit abrasive to me at saying it in that way. So for me, it's more like I might maybe if I feel like I'm going to be I really need to take charge of the session in a way where because some people come on and they feel very threatened, very vulnerable, and they will try to game an enrollment session with you, like a sales call or a discovery call or whatever. They're worried about the sales being taken advantage of or being vulnerable. They'll put the walls up and they'll try to take control of the situation, right? We've all met people like this in even conversations, and you have to be aware of that. So sometimes you have to come in really strong with people, tell them, okay, listen, this is the way it goes. It's kind of like, it is sort of like, maybe it does feel a little bit drill sergeant, but it's just taking charge. And when they feel that, and they feel your strength, you really feel your strength and your heart at the same time, it helps them to relax and feel like you're strong enough to guide them through this process that you're about to have together. And they realize, okay, they're too strong. I think they're too strong. I can't really manipulate them. I can't, throw them this way or that way, with my stuff, because this idea that we're selling them on a sales conversation, well, listen to me. Your prospective client is trying to sell you. Their issues are. Let me tell you why this isn't going to work for me, or why I'm so stuck, and what my concerns are, and all the reasons why I can't take the next steps. Like that, they're all lined up with that somewhere inside themselves. We got it all. We're all ready. We're all ready to defeat this whole thing in the first place. Because why? People aren't wired to want exactly what it is that would serve them best. They're wired more so towards protection and keeping everything the same. We know this, right? You've heard it a million times. So you got to help break that resistance. I know people can't stand the idea that you're going to break people, kind of thing. But this is breaking through the resistance, the thing that they're suffering from. Not because you're trying to take control and manipulate somebody. It's just you're trying to break that resistance that they have to getting the help that would really help them, which really is about getting more connected into their power, into their connection with source, and into their heart, like you're coming into the call in the first place. So you come in, and one of the things I've noticed too is, and each person is different. I'm saying you have to come in super strong with everybody. Sometimes just the opposite, light, easy. Each person, you have to gauge the energy. You have to dance with the energy as you're on these calls, and you do want to take charge for sure to some degree, in some form or fashion. You need to lead the session, right? You need to lead the time together. But you have to see intuitively, you have to see how do I need to show up for this person right now to be of service to them the best, and follow that thread, right? And then we all have our process, whether you're doing, like I do energy scans. I do energy scans on consultations where people often become clients, or actually not, a lot of people don't, because only certain people are really fully aligned to be my client based on how I work with people at this point in time. Depends on what I'm offering. Like sometimes offering something that's for more people, and then the close rate's higher, right? So I've got something that's like preciously for only a few people, then I'm more. It's not like I'm selecting them out, but they're just not a fit, So then they will even decide they're not a fit, because the process will reveal that. So for me, I'm all about the alignment and who are the right people for what I'm offering, rather than a close rate or everybody, or all that kind of stuff. And then me showing up in the way that serves that person best and serves me best, quite frankly. Because if you're serving your highest, then you'll be serving their highest, right? It just all goes together. You go through the process and you go in with the idea like, man, this is so exciting. This conversation is going to be one of the best things that could possibly ever happen for me and for them. It's going to be so amazing. And you have that mentality, that intention, and through your intention, it will be that way. And just by that energy alone, a lot more people will want to work with you. A lot more people will want to work with you. You'll be more receptive. You'll be more open to receiving the clients. And so that's all part of how to make it more fun and easy. We could go on and on. There's so many things that could keep you for days on all the things with sales. But this foundational stuff, just to get started, like, hey, yeah, get clear on the who you help, how you help them, where do they hang out, all the usual stuff, get the lead gen. But like, it's got to be connected. It's got to feel good. You've got to feel you're in your power, at every level of your energy system, that you're connected. And that's a full yes. There's a full yes. That's how you're going to get the funnest, easiest sales. And something will challenge you along the way somewhere, right? But when things come up in a conversation with people, like just, I find like sometimes for me, almost every single situation like that, I'm in a place of especially when it gets down to the end, when we're talking about like them hiring me, I'm more in a place of letting everything be as light as possible while still being very strong and clear. So it's like, okay, all right, I'm about to sell you something that's about $1 billion. Ready to hear about it? And they're like, then we both laugh, right? So just like finding fun ways to diffuse is the word I'm looking for, diffuse the sales tension. Like that's where levity and lightness and fun can come in. So the whole process can feel really good for you and them in that way. So they already trust you and love you because of the way you're showing up for them based on the instructions I'm giving you. And maybe not every single person, but by and large, almost every single person will when you show up this way. And then in the end, once we get down to the nitty gritty, okay, do you really, like, my questions I like to ask is along these lines, without getting into the full training of how I go about it. It's like, okay, do you really want this change? All right, first that needs to be answered. Like, do you really want the change we're talking about today? Okay, it's either yes or no. If it's a no, everything else afterwards doesn't matter. Are you yes to that? The transformation, are you yes to being supported in it overall? Or are you open, or you might go directly to, are you ready to be supported by me? And it could be like step by step by step. I've done it that way. Sometimes I kind of jump around a little bit. Either way, it can work. And then the very last thing, after they say yes to the transformation, yes to working with you and the way you help them, the way you're going to go about doing it, and continually talking about how good it's going to be for them, how much it's going to change their life. If that's true, only tell the truth and never promise it, but say, this is what I'm intending, this is what I'm sensing will help happen for you. This or something greater, right? And tell them, this isn't a one-way street. What you do is going to make a big difference, but I'll be there to help you and cheer you on, and whatever, to help you to be as intentional, as committed as possible in the process. But it's up to you to do it, though. And then I'm going to show up fully, and I'm knowing that you're going to get great results. So that's my take. Okay, so just being really clear, transparent, honest about it, how you work with people, the way the results unfold, etc. And then at the very end, like, they're like, hey, so does that feel like a fit? You get a fit on it. Okay, first of all, do you want it to change? Does it feel like a fit? Like how I would be helping you? Yeah. Some people will get a little antsy and be just like, just give me the price, give me the price. You just say, hey, these things need to be a fit, otherwise it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter what the price is. Because it is true, like, for most people, again, and just treat everybody like this. For most people, once they get a price, like, their mind just goes, okay, am I going to spend that money on this or not? Like, it's black and white. But it's not like that. When they that's their stuff, like, that's their survival instinct. Like, I need to know the price to see if I can do it and if it's worthwhile, for me to even think about. It's like a very logical thing, but the energy of creation isn't like that. The energy of creation is like, okay, is there alignment here? Is there expansion? And then when the expansion's there, all of a sudden, like, the money all of a sudden becomes a detail. And that's what you want to be doing. And it's just like when you're working with them, you should be working with people in a way that brings them into, expansion or higher frequency or whatever you want to call it. And then whatever they want becomes the detail, like, oh, well, there it is, the thing I wanted. So the same thing in this process. And so then you just can lay it out there, and I always tell people, like, I like to do this because it's fun. And I tell them it's worth cajillions of dollars what I do. And but it's not hundreds of thousands, it's not tens of thousands, it's not, or whatever. And then I tell them what the investment is, and everybody relaxes everybody into what it is. So there you go. I mean, this might be the most amazing podcast you'll ever listen to for your sales. Who knows? Let me know. All I know is, like, this stuff works, but you got to get yourself in the right state, and you got to get into some of the details, and your own patterns and your own stuff is what defeats this process. As simple as it is, as I laid this out very simply for you, like how this works, how fun and easy it can be, and how you can, double and triple and quadruple and exponentially, grow your business from this energy. Your patterns, if they're not willing to go along with that, won't even do any of this stuff, or won't do just choice little pieces and then mess up the rest. That's where the issue comes in. So that's why it's not as so simple and easy and fun and joyful, because your patterns will say, yeah, well, we're still being evil salespeople and I don't want to do it. But you're not, because guess what's selling to them, every single day, your potential clients? Oh, you're no good. You don't even try, blah, blah, blah. That's what's selling to them all day. Is that what you want for the world? For them to stay in a trance of all the limitations that they believe they are? Okay, you don't? Then you better start enrolling something else, because they're not going to always just naturally want to work with you. You have to create the sense that this is possible for them, that this is available for them, that they could have a change in their life. You have to build that energy up sometimes. And if you're not willing to do the work, somebody else will, and they'll help them, or they'll just keep suffering. Maybe they're not going to get the right help, though, because they'll go spend it on someone else. That may not be the right answer. Maybe you were, but because you weren't willing to do the quote unquote work, it's not going to go to you. So to me, easy sales is never always being in a state of connection and abundance throughout any process, and then letting the results take care of themselves in a sense. And, always taking things to the utmost degree when like the opportunity is there for that client. Like, I just know they're supposed to work with me. Then you stay after them, you stay in the process, and they might get, people get angry sometimes, but then as you help them move through their anger and what that's really about, then they'll be so transformed. They'll be so happy. That's what I've seen over the years. All these years of doing thousands of energy scans, enrollment calls, and working with countless people, so many people over the years. And that's what I've noticed. Like, we have to really take a powerful stance for certain number of the people for them to even want to work with us, and that's how you want to show up anyway, to help people to transform even deeper and more through their patterns. So let me know what you think about all this. I'd love to hear your comments. And if you want to learn more, if you love this conversation, like, man, I want to learn more. Like, a lot of people, I start talking sales and breaking this stuff down, they're like, I want to learn more about that, because I have clients that ask me sales questions all the time about the one-to-one sales process, countless permutations of different scenarios, objections, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to learn more about how to get support from me about that, just again, go to yoursacredpurpose.com and reach out to me. Get your own consultation first. It's a Rock Your Sacred Purpose consultation. We'll take a look at your energy with sales and start dialing in the solutions. And if there's any fit potentially, I can help you with the next steps. I can help you with the next steps if it's a fit. If it's not, because it may not be a fit for 100%. But if you're called to investigate, take a further look, do so. I'm not sure. By the time we get this podcast, it's possible, considering I've done many, sales trainings over the years, and I'm thinking about offering one coming up in the near future. So if you reach out to me now or in the future, I may have one going on right now that specifically deals with what I've talked about. I am planning on doing one very likely in 2023. So yeah, and again, at yoursacredpurpose.com, you could also just get notifications from me by getting on my email list, by getting that free Meditate and Make Money meditation. Go ahead and sign up for it. And the rest will be, you'll strengthen your energy around with source and your heart and your chakras and your lower chakras and money, and get the downloads that you need. And it will definitely increase what's possible for you. So to thrive financially in your business, it works for me. It works for other people that do it. It works. So the free meditation alone has helped increase people's businesses. People still years later tell them, I still listen and my business is still growing, just even if they're not doing other things with me sometimes. So, okay, so go to yoursacredpurpose.com, check it all out. And I'm just always so grateful to share with you, and just know the truth. You're meant to rock. You're meant to rock. You're meant to rock. You're meant to be a spiritual rock star leader. You're meant to shine. You're meant to share your light in the world. And I'm just grateful to be of support to you today. Okay, lots of love and blessings. Like I always say, keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time, everyone. Goodbye for now. Listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.